Gallo Yerif Gleir Cardia. Sked Mila Faltia Quigan, Kjolkurum, Shaw and Not. Tasuligum, Gominjavana Henivas, that was Taisagum Gominik. You're all very welcome to this unique concert here tonight in Newcastle West. This idea came from, we'll say, Con Herbert, that thought of this, that it would be very nice indeed to get musicians together, musicians from West Limerick, who mightn't have met for quite a while. Some may have played quite a lot in the past and might not have played much in the past few years. But we can look on it as a kind of a reunion concert. And tonight the emphasis will be on the traditional music of West Limerick and the West Limerick style and that. So tá súlagum go meg anna íhagain, tá mi dolachan tá súinish, agus an faratí a bhí go gine nocht. Your faratí will be the one and only Sean O'Shea. Agus tá anna áhas oring gur bhuiile a comas bheith lin nocht. Ní cur mé hile muile orib mar sinna cardia, seasaí inish I gur árán na bhíon.
Well, we usually keep me the fault of Mara Dort, Tagamel Kaha and Shin Tamalino Hin. Mahipsia, Ta Anahasar Fatherum, Vehan Sohanocht. I always like performing around these parts of the country. Many years ago, I was in Temple Glantine on a very memorable night, and I came across a video of it lately. It surprised me how young I was then, but you know, I suppose I had three things that I'm a pioneer with: brill cream and black hair, and they're all gone. So. But as long as I'm around, that's the present. And Taigo Melkaha is as young looking as ever. So the moral of the story is, if you want to stay young looking, live in Temple Glantine. I'm in the middle of all kinds of wires here now. So anyway, big Iha Untahugoy, August Faram, Kield, Falta, August Falta Special, the Riv Uchtran, Recordish, and Shandor, Loras Marho, August Van Una at Mass and Shot Unocht. It's great that they're here, and give them a big West Limerick welcome. Now then, lining up behind me, Ty told you the idea of this, that is a kind of a reunion of the great musicians of West Limerick, so to speak. And Crave College of Temple Glantine was established in 1971, and its first secretary was, you might imagine, Ty himself. And the branch prioritised establishing music classes, in other words, the teaching of the music. No point in it being the possessions of a select few, and they have exceeded any expectations they might have. Their first music classes in a place where I think I sang even earlier, Holla Inchbon. And tonight here on the stage we have some people who, not all of them were there that night. Well, if there was any of them there, they must have been in their communion clothes, because Jesus, most of them weren't born in 1971. Or Limerick must be Tiernan. Anyway, we have William Larkin on accordion, his brother John Larkin, we have Anita Deely on fiddle, and Aileen Delan is on the piano. Oh, I see the piano. On the piano, pianos are very mobile these days, thanks be to God. Gemma Curtin is on the flute, and with them is Pat Buckley, a mainstay of the Glantine Colthus. Where is Pat? A fine, healthy looking man too. And they're going to be joined later on by Lily Goyneen. I hope I got that right. She's a dancer from Tournafulla. How are the women from Tournafulla? That reminds me, the last night I was in Brew and Castle, we had a whole bushload from Tournafulla. Are you going Saturday night because I'm there again? Jeez, you might. 2 nights out in once in a week. Tournafulla. Anyway, away we go. They're going to start off with some polkas, and they've got some shinbeg rhyme, portica, some jigs, and they're going to finish off with reels. Did I get that right? I'm a pure genius.
head is grey, and my bones are brittle too. Come sit yourself down there a while, and I soon will tell to you of the fine young man that once I was in the days of long ago, when I picked the wild blackberries in the hills around Listowel. Oh, I was lithe and happy then, with hair as black as snow. We wore no shoes in summertime, and we laughed in winter snow. I stood tall and straight, as I'll now relate, but the years have taken their toll since I picked the wild blackberries in the hills around Listowel. In the sports field I kicked football, as the goalpost-sided yard. I played handball in the alley and went home by Gortonard. In the Parson's Wood I often stood, where my first kiss I stole, as we picked the wild blackberries in the hills around Listowel. I fished for sea trout in my lovely Silver River field, and from Foley's orchard I confess sweet apples I did steal. I felt pinch of thorn on an autumn morn, from the Swale to Mount Cole, as I picked the wild blackberries in the hills around Listowel. From Ballygren and Twin Church spires I see rising from the square, while the castle stands defiantly beside the river fair. The island race course to the west I now once more behold, and I pick the wild blackberries in the hills around Listowel. So there you have it, that's my tale from Australia's sunny clime. At the fire of memories I'll warm my hands while God gives me time. Across swirling tide and ocean wide will fly this emigrant soul to where I picked the wild blackberries in the hills around Listowel. Dan O'Connell was born in Kerry, De Valera saw light in New York, and the Bow Christie ring, the great hurling king, was from Clyne in the county of Cork. But list will I tell of my birthplace, and where my life first began. It's outside of the town of Kilmallock now, for I am an effin' man. It's a wonderful place, as I'm sure you will find, and if you can't see that, you're just effin' blind. I'll live till I die, and I'll sing while I can, and be proud to say here is one effin' man. Our old Limerick colours were playing, the rebels from Cork by the Lee, 2 points in arrears, the fans close to tears, when the ref gives a penalty. As a youth strong and tall, he stepped up to the ball, a voice it rang out from the stand. Go back to your place and don't dare show your face, leave that to an effing man. It's a wonderful place, as I'm sure you will find, and if you can't see that, you're just effing blind. I live till I die, and I'll sing while I can, and be proud to say here is one effing man. My wife is a beautiful lady, and the farmer rose at Tralee. She had suitors galore who flocked to her door, from Frisco to Featherton Sea. But she never looked in their direction, she just gave 'em the back of her hand. And here's what she said to you out of your head: I want an effing man. It's a wonderful place, as I'm sure you will find, and if you can't see that, you're just effing blind. I'll live till I die, and I'll sing what I can, and be proud to say, here is one effing man. So now we're blessed with 4 children, 3 girls and a fine strapping boy, the pride of their mother and father, and forever the source of our joy. I hope that the laddie takes after his dad, and I'll tell him, let this be your plan. Stay out from the crowd and shout it out loud, I'll be always my own effing man. Stay out from the crowd and shout it out loud, I'll be always my own effing man.
And I know, going way back the years, musicians here will remember that there was a great kind of custom, culture, whatever you call it. Do you remember, Tom, when we used to be heading off to England for Patrick's Day? And Patrick's Day in England at that time, during Lent, yeah, but sure, that made it better. But anyway, because you couldn't dance at home at all, but that rule wasn't in England at all, was it? No, it was many the good drummer in the show band met his wife during Lent or in the Cayley band. The first place I met these boys was in Birmingham. And on the bill that night was Frank Patterson, God be good to him, Brendan Shine, who had a scarlet red suit on him. Do you remember that? We thought he was a Cork man, but agus na daoine atá a tuairt fomsa anocht about Cork's lack of success in both codes this year. As I have explained several times before, now and again there are years when Cork have to do that for the good of hurling, you know. So, like, look, don't get excited about it, you know. On Vleanse Chuingarísh we might be interested, but anyway, this is Tom Cusson. Agus tá Coney Tom Inish in Athenry, County Galway, where he makes these wonderful musical instruments. Is that your own one tonight, Tom? It is, of course. He makes these wonderful banjos, and he is proud of them. And I was listening to him lately on Joe Duffy's show, giving out about the way airlines treat banjos when they get them aboard the hold and they come out. But the difference between the airlines and Tom is that with the airlines, the bottom line is the old money, but with Tom Cusson, it's the beauty of the instrument he makes. Fan the brilliant father, August Fos. The group ag Tom called Shaskeen. They were one of the wonderful groups that were there and that have survived to the present time. Agus tá Andalan leis an piano Irish in Nocht agus seo hívanis Mohara agus Vorgana Tom Cusson. Eileen McManus. So could you fight a vote than man as Tornafolla, Kathleen Maroney.
One day, as I strolled along Broadway, a vision appeared in my view, a vision of sadness and beauty, a vision that's given to few. There was I in the land of the stranger. There was she that I'd not seen before. Yet somehow I knew she was Irish, sweet Eileen from Erin's green shore. So softly a spell she cast o'er me, as her lovely form moved on its way, that I thought of the mother that bore me, and prayed she would love me fore'er. And as Eileen gazed sweetly upon me, with the charm of her love evermore, I was slave to sweet Eileen McManus, that fair colleen from Erin's green shore. So softly a spell she cast o'er me, as her lovely form moved on its way, that I thought of the mother that bore me, and prayed she would love me forever. I quickly approached this young maiden, and I asked her the cause of her woe, and she said she was crying for Erin, the land where the dear shamrocks grow. I said, just put an end to your crying, dear Eileen McManus' door, for we'll marry, and ere it's tomorrow, I will take you to Erin's green shore. We will travel the green glens and mountains, all along by the gap of Dunlow, and along by the glens and the valleys, to a spot that is called Addo. 'Tis my joy just to see you contented, and your tears will be dried evermore. My own beautiful Eileen McManus, you'll be home on old Erin's green shore.
Did I get it right? Anima.
Thank you very much. There were a few jigs, a few well-known tunes that we've been playing for quite a while now. The first tune there was The Rose and the Heather. The second tune, I think, was The Rambler, and the third tune was Balia Bug. So, first of all, we're delighted and honoured to be asked to play here tonight. I was talking to Con Herbert yesterday evening, and he was saying that we were the kind of babies of this concert tonight. It is honoured to be. It is older we're getting, but tonight we're made feel fairly young. We're the 70s, late 70s, early 80s babes, I believe so. So we're going to carry on and play a few reels that we learned actually back in Timpeglanton in our earlier years of learning tunes from Donald Ibarra. The first tune there is a tune from Sean Ryan, the great composer. Second tune is another well-known tune called Tear the Calico or Rip the Calico. And the last tune is a very well-known tune called The Sailor's Bonnet. So we'll play these three and hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you. enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.
But I want to sing this song, especially tonight. With us here tonight is Bernard O'Sullivan from the headquarters, Culturan on Coltish in Malachy. But his mother is with him, and his mother's a West Cork woman like myself. As a matter of fact, our grandfather sold bonnets from the same creel in Castledown Bear Fair sometime after the famine. But I am talking about our grandfathers. And Mrs. O'Sullivan hasn't been well recently. She's a rough enough old time of it. But like most West Cork people, that's only a small problem to her. She's flying fit again. Agus tá anáthas ar an gléamh mé ollar sin, agus is duitse an taibhreáin seo. It's a great song from Ulster, and was taught to me by Sean O'Reilly, like most of the good songs I have. And every night I do a concert, I say, I'll let it out tonight, but then somebody comes along and say, you'll sing it. So I suppose it's only right when people ask you to sing it that you should sing it. It's about a man called, well, Sean O'Reilly liked to think it was anyway, Cathal Buí Mac Gilliguna. But it mightn't be about him at all, if you know what I mean. He was an alcoholic and he was very fond of the opposite sex. So, if you like the porter, Shochan and Rodilla. And he died at a very early age, but not before he wrote this really beautiful song, Agus Shin Tedalata Erna, the V Banúsal, or I suppose it's more commonly known as Carrick Fergus. The Vibanúsal shall dolluilum och yen she quoth di safarir bear. The quas na tauta snavalti mora och dog sjaun me hos kortim. Da vain she causa feorsian tampel, the veneration im vor hier fein, achnish tan tainlag, skan faller leisegam, is begm of winter, equal me. I wish I had you in Carrick Fergus, is fadonai chinnig panicwen, sailing over the deep blue waters in Yegmog Royal, sig Ilowem. For the seas are deep, love, and I cannot swim over, and neither have I the wings to fly. I wish I met with a handsome boatman who would ferry me over, my love and I. In Castle Comer it was reported a marble stone there as black as ink, with gold and silver I'll pay for porter, but I'll sing no more till I have a drink. For I'm drunk today and I'm seldom sober, a handsome rover from town to town. But now I am dead and my days are over. Come Molly a story, now lay me down. I don't know if you noticed it there, but one of these things that happens during the last verse, I was writing a bastard of a frog that was trying to come up my throat, as the singer said. Reminds me of a story about a very famous opera singer who came to Cork one time, you know. Sorry, Maria, you heard this before. But there was a 3-tier opera house there, you know, where the grandees of Cork would be down the floor, the kind of shopkeepers would be in the second one, and then the doctors would be up in the guards, like, you know. And they were the most severe critics of all. So there was this English tenor, and he went for a high C, and it came out like a strangulated B flat, you know, that kind of way. I was a hawk! And he stopped up straight away, and he said, my dear people, I apologise. He said, I fear I've got a frog in my throat. And a doctor above him, the third row, who wasn't a bit pleased with this performance, says down at him, why don't you let the feckin' frog sing? Anyway. A lot of you know this. The little red fox is a family man by his own fireside reposing, till the cry of the hound shows his lair is found, and there's no time left for dozing. I'm off, says he, don't wait for me, there's a long, long road before me, but home I'll be in time for the tea, if I get this journey o'er me. On Madarina, row, 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 Madarina Rota Grana, and Madarina Rola Lee, and Saloka Ragas Paraga, Clush, and Marde. Ermagwagda, Wigdom, Hartley of Lochragas, Michiker, Tourish, Mgela, Ermacasa, Adoy, Shafuheris, a Tourishker of Madarina Ro on later, and Madarina Ro, 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 Ro. Madarina Rota Grana, and Madarina Rola Lee, and Saloka Ragas Paraga, Clush, and Marde. Good morrow, fox, good morrow, sir, pray what is that you're eating? A fine fat goose I stole from you, but will you come and taste it? Oh no, indeed, nae hall yummy, nae blashed puky never, but I vow and swear you'll dearly pay for the fine fat goose you're eating. And Madarina ro, 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 Madarina Rota Grana, and Madarina Ro, Nalay and Saloka Ragas Paraga, Lush and Marde. The little red fox is a raider, sly in the misty moonlight creeping, till the sound of the deer shows his lair is found, and there's no time left for dozing. A duck, says he, is fine for me, likewise a young cock crowing, but a fine fat goose is most of use to a family young and growing. And Madarina ro, 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 Madarina Rota Grana, and Madarina Ro, Nalay and Saloka Ragas Paraga, Clush and Marde. Now then, there's my red coronet. Come back here and take a bow. It's Undagan, brother. You know what? It's great. I'll never die old as long as I'm playing music with the like of them. She's a great girl. And so I'd say to you minded about the Texas Isle batting, because she'd go far better with a Kerry footballer, wouldn't she? I'm exhausted after that. We've a wonderful musician coming up, you know, his name is Francis O'Connor. August is us Arda Francis. I know, there's one thing I don't know. He's living one place and he's from the other. But the most important thing about him is that he's married to a Cork woman, which shows he's a man of great good sense. This man's father-in-law would be the famous Kilmarnock fiddle player, Connie O'Connell. August Tasha Postel and Heneen Anya. Is Untakan Kjoltore e Fain Francis. Francis is a wonderful musician himself. He plays the fiddle and he plays it excellently. He sings a fine song, but tonight he's going to play the flute for you. So could he fall to vor with Francis O'Connor?
Hello. I'll play two kind of dances that John Joe Hatton used to play a long time ago. finish off with two reels. The first one, Paddy Taylor used to play it, and the second one is a Sligo tune. So we'll dance them now.
Things including pulling teeth, but I've never seen tongs used in all my life for percussion, and I'm looking forward to it. And they were, when Tomperley Lowntown Coltis was founded in 1991, when they were, Moss and Patsy were the link with the younger musicians at the time. And two of these musicians are here tonight with them, the brothers William, whom we saw before, and John Larkin, and they're all on stage. So we've two sets of brothers, we've Moss and Patsy Murphy, and we've William and John Larkin. I forgot to ask them what they're going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I thought this man was playing something too. He's only fiddling with the microphones, you understand? That kind of way. While he's fiddling with the microphones, I want to tell you about an unfortunate Cork man who went down to Kerry. They were playing the Munster final, you know. And he sat into his seat to this humble Cork man, festooned in red and white. And the next thing, there was a Kerry man came in, and he sat in the second next seat to the Cork man, and he was in green and gold. And the next thing, he came, and the next thing, there was a little mongrel terrier of undoubted lineage came in and sat in the seat between the two of them, you see? And every time the Kerry crowd scored, the dog went out of his mind. And the Corkman was feeling a bit sore with this, you see. And he says to the Kerryman, says he, do he be like that all the time? And the Kerryman says, oh yes, so say when we're winning. Christ, when we're winning, that dog, he says, he do get really excited. And the Corkman says, tell me, says he, what happens says he, when you lose? And the Kerryman says, I don't know, we only happened for the past couple of years. Okay. Are we ready, lads? We are, I think, yeah. Now, a Ragling Marching, the Murphy brothers and the Larkin brothers, and some more great music.
There were a couple of slides that I used to hear Mossy and John Joe Hartnell playing at Wren dances in Minaleen, and they were called the Minaleen slides. Now we'll play a hornpipe next. Mossy and I just started off there.
introduce to you a singer who is nationally known. Philip Enright won the first of his many All-Irelands in both Irish agus Óráníocht das Gaeilge in 1967. And he won his last in 1989. He had nearly as long a career as DJ Carey. But he assures me that the first one was an under 14, in case you think he should be drawing the pension or anything like that. But when you see the man, you know he shouldn't be drawing the pension. He toured Ireland, Britain and North America with Coltis Celtori Éireann. And Philip's pub in his native Abbeyfield, a town I have loved. I remember being in Abbeyfield when they won the first Lord of Gael, and De Valera came down to congratulate them and so on and so forth. It was a marvellous day. People like Padre Carroll and Bertie O'Nona and Benach Dale and Anonymous, they were there that day. And I have a special graph for Abbeyfield ever since. Anyway, I digress. The Ramble Inn is Philip's pub. And the West Limerick Singing Club meet there on the first Thursday of every month. And I've been told such things about it tonight that I might come up there myself some month like Coon of Dave, the Lord spares me. His first song is a song that I must confess I never heard, even though I'm living next door to the place. It's called Dear or Balavourney. So could I give fault of Philip Enright?
I have travelled wide across the tide to many a clime marine, sweet land of America and Australia I have seen, but the grandest spot in all the world which gladdens summer's gloom is my native Ballyvourna near the town of Sweet Macroom. I have been to Goganbarra and the Palace of Kemeny, down to Queenstown Harbour and home by Bantry Bay, the hills of Connemara, Galtee Mountains and Slieve Bloom. It's far from Ballyvourna near the town of Sweet Macroom. When other streams the trout forsake their founts of perching there, the artist finds material for his brush throughout the year. His object, he can have those words, there are rocks and heather brown, they're found in Ballyvourna near the town of Sweet Macroom. It is there the birds sing sweeter than any place I know, and the super groves are shedding yet the warm summer's glow, and the people there are lightsome, the place is been alone in dear old Ballyvourna near the town of Sweet Macroom. Ballyvourna is a paradise for strangers touring round. Nowhere else in Ireland such welcome can be found. So now, in conclusion, let's see a railroad soon through that dear old Ballyvourna near the town of Sweet Macroom.
I'd like to finish up now with a local song actually. I'm sure a lot of you have had it before. It's called Barna Hill.
Oh, do my eyes deceive me, or is it but a dream? The golden vales of Limerick, its coat of earthen green, a rarer sight was never seen, or never will again. It's that golden vale of Limerick you can view from Barna Hill.
while standing on the summit of that ancient Danish rock. You can view each town and city far better than a map. Newcastle West before me lies, God Street and Whelan's Mill. You can view them all from Corton's lawn at the foot of Barn Hill. You can view the river Shannon and those hills far off in Clare. Rathkeil, Crook and Patrick's Well, oh lovely, sweet Adair. Askeaton, Arda, Abbeyfield, Ashford and Charleville. You can view them all from Corton's lawn at the foot of Barton Hill. To the right is Ballingarry, the chief town of the plain, where of the Lord of Desmond his deadly deer did slain, where heroic men in days of yore they showed their power and skill. And my burial place is Monaghan at the foot of Barn Hill.
Rather unique, we're going to have 9 flute players from West Limerick, and they are Patsy Maloney, Conor Maloney, John Hartnett, Donald DeBorra, Donny O'Sullivan, Francis O'Connor, Donny Lyons, Michael Collins, and Siobhan Cunran. Now, Siobhan Cunran is at pains to find out to me that she's on the wrong side of the hill of Barna. She's east of Barna, but she's now residing here. But if I know anybody, it could be the one place the 2 times to be Siobhan. So, and I'm sure she, and that's a compliment. I'm sure she really tries. She could be the 2 places in the one time, because she's a wonderful woman and puts an awful lot of energy into. Did I lose a bit of paper there because I did? I'm knackered. No, I didn't. She put into the organisation this concert tour night. She produces the Colta Sculptorier and tours of England and America, and puts an awful lot of work into it. But if there's any woman could be 2 places at one time, to Siobhan Cunran, and not that they would put past to be 3 places at one time. So, by the way, we have here tour tonight. Did I tell you that we've Martin Forrestal all the way from Kilkenny? Martin is. And a year Cork does badly, Martin turns up every place I see. But he's a great friend of mine, and he is the tour manager of this year's Colta's tour to America, and a man who does an awful lot of work with Colta's Sculptorier and down on Waterford, has wonderful sessions going there. So, tá fáilt rot Martin, agus tá súla diagam bhfuil tú went on a Hannibal Saniha, and I'm certain you are. Now, where are those 9 flute players? I don't see anyone. Wished. Here's Francis O'Connor, that's 1 flute player coming. And Donald DeBorra's coming, that's 2 flute players, 3 flute players. How would you call a group of flute players? Like a herd of cattle? Get me a name for that now. A herd of, no, you couldn't call them a herd of flute player. Anyway, a flotilla is good. Who said that? A flotilla of flute players. I'll give you a voucher for 2 nights in 3 Nursery Drive, that's where I live. We'll put you up in the attic and you'll be gone after 1 night. I guarantee you know. 1, 2, 3. Siobhan, will you count them for me? You're better than counting tonight. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I hope they're all putting the flutes in one direction, because if they're not, there'll be fierce confusion also. Right. 9. I said 9. Do you think I'd make a mistake? These people on the wrong side of the bar and I can't hear us. But is Jimmy O'Sullivan, Jerry O'Sullivan, Dan Curtin, Joanne O'Connor, Michael Collins, Anita Deely, and Con Herbert? Did I leave out anyone, Con? I didn't. Okay. So give them a big, big round of applause. Con Dera a Fart National Goitse. Limerick were founded in 1973, the year Cork won their third All Ireland. And Donald de Barra of Athay was the recording player, and he is, of course, as you well know, a former president of Coltis Kiltory Airden. Every time I go up the stairs in the Coltis headquarters, he's smiling out there at me somewhere is done. And also includes Mossy O'Sullivan from Arda, who plays the banjo, John Hartnett from Broadford, who plays the flute, Pat Buckley from Temple Glantine, who plays the drums, and Aileen Delan on piano. Jeez, Aileen, you must have your bottle with you. Or maybe your mother was with you. She wasn't around in 1973, was she? You were born in 1973. So your mother was playing the piano, so. Anyway, could you get far to four on the Kiltory Limerick?
We're Margaret Gallier. Now, although the band was formed in 1973, which is a couple of years ago, we haven't been together for about 20 years. So we're very thankful for this concert to bring us back together again. Myself and Pat played together for years, all right, until he got tired and he got married. John went away up in the good lands of Tipperary, settled down up there. Myself and Mossy played then for years again together, so. But we haven't played as a band, and of course just flew for Aileen, she was much older when she joined us. She was child prodigy. I'm going to play something a bit slower now. It's a slow air. It's the Lament for Aughrim, or Sean O'Dear Aglana. I'm going to follow that with something, lads, just be prepared to join me.
Correct about the layer. Click down with the list and Garil, the trip to Dora, and over the moor to Maggie. August, go to be the Margaret.
Cool west, within my breast, my love lies there for you. To valleys fair and mountains bare, I now must bid adieu. Beneath Columbia's starry sky, my weary head will rest. My loving eyes no more behold your lovely, sweet, cool west. There was nothing left for me to do but cross the ocean foam to the dear old land across the sea where the Irish find a home. And when I meet with my friends, they will press me to the breast and welcome me, the absent by the exile from cool west. I can hear the engine ripple past and thunder in the gale. And soon I'll place my foot on board the train at Abbeyfale, and say my last and fond farewell to those that I love best. Oh, pray for me, the absentee, the exile from cool west. I can see the morning silvery dawn break o'er the eastern sky, which tells to me the hour has come when I must say goodbye, and take my last and fond fair look at the home that I love best. For my loving eyes no more behold my lovely sweet cool west. But alas, how can I leave the scenes I love so dear? The happy playmates of my youth will whisper in my ear, oh, stay at home and do not roam while life flows to your breast, for you'll have friends to welcome you at home in sweet cool west. I'll now try a livelier song. It's called Tourlum Tourlum Tea. My father is a farmer in title. He owns 7 acres of land, and he has his rent charges all settled, and a trifle of cash left in hand. But the most thing that caused me alarm, it caused me great trouble, you see, for the thoughts that I'd ne'er get the old farm singing Tourlum Tourlum Tea. I started a courting a charming young lass. Her name it is Nellie Malone, and she says if I get the old farm, I could willingly call her my own. Oh, behind the old bush in the garden, where Nellie and I often sat, with kissing and begging her pardon, sure we often had serious chat. Oh, she told me she loved me quite warm as her love could be, which she says if you don't get old farm, pon my soul, but you'll never get me. Oh, then father, says I've been courting a lass. Her name it is Nellie Malone, and she says if I get the old farm, I could willingly call her my own. So they stuck their old two heads together to seek her an answer to find, and they said 'twas the heat of the weather that was driving those thoughts to my mind. So I traveled and tried to console them, to see what their feelings give in, and after great coaxing and clavering, they finally gave their consent. When I heard it, I got so delighted, I put on a clean shirt and new shoes, and I shaved a few times to look decent, and ran off to tell Nellie the news. When she heard it, she got so delighted, she threw her arms round me, saying this day we'll both be united, singing Tourlum Tourlum Tea.
Mairead is with me again, Mairead Corrigan from Brosna, great woman, and we're going to do a song for you around every Christmas. It's a strange thing in families, you know. Well, oh, by the way, I have a pair of spectacles here, there'll be some woman blind tomorrow. Because I'd say they're women. She's the same eye problem as myself, because I'm after trying them on. So she's probably, well, she could be younger than me now. They're not as hard to, but anyway, they're a lovely pair of glasses. They cost a lot of money. And if you'll see me outside there after I'm finished singing, you'll get them back, because I wouldn't want to embarrass you, by asking you to walk up through the whole hall. I'm thinking she'll let me. But there's no name or anything, and you're a trusting woman. I'll put them in here now. Right, but every time around Christmas, my father was a grand singer, and we come from a family of singers way back. The thing I'm most delighted about myself is that the way my father earned his crust, we were poor, and that's nothing. He had a horse and car, and he should be taking the farmer's butter from Castletown Bear up to Cork to the butter market in Cork, which was the most famous butter market in Europe at the time. And he'd come home after 3 or 4 days, and we had one little field and one cow. And what I like about my family is that if they were after a month's wet weather, and there was one fine day came, and hay had to be saved, and they saw my grandfather coming with a horse and car, work would stop to see had he any new song from Cork. And I think that's a great sign of us, and that's why we're still around. But anyway, at Christmas, my own father, God be good to him, he'd always sing this song. And it is only as I grow old now that I can see why he used, because it's a great emigrant song. And Christmas is a time that we think of the people who went abroad. And I was saying to Mairead earlier that she hasn't been to America before, but when you go over there, the most wonderful thing is to see the descendants of people who went in hard times and who were at the bottom strata over, and they're doing well now, and they still love their music, and a lot of them have the words of Irish. Agus is more and more dul trasta chuha, and we'll have a great time there, and I look after them. Now, gone away. "'Tis far away I am today from scenes I roamed a boy, and long ago the hour I know I first saw Illinois. For time nor tide nor waters wide could steal my heart away. Forever true it flies to you, my own dear Galway Bay. Oh, grey and bleak by shore and creek, the rugged rocks abound, and soft and green the grass is seen that grows on either side. And friendships fond no wealth beyond, and a love that lives always. We'll make our home beside your foam, my own dear Galway Bay. Had I good blood or faithful mood, or a heart of fire once more, for all the gold in foreign hordes, I'd never leave your shore. I'd be content with whatever God sent, till I'm feeble, old and grey, and I'd lay my bones 'neath churchyard stones around you, Galway Bay. The blessings of a poor old man go with you night and day. The blessings of a poor old man whose heart is only clay. 'Tis all in heaven of God I ask upon my dying day. my soul to soar forevermore above you, Galway Bay. Thank you very much indeed. Just a very few short verses of this one. For a woman who said that she gave me a lady's choice in the Star Ballroom in Cappamore on the 3rd of August 69 I think. And she's looking as well as she was that night, and I'm knackered totally, but whatever. Give us a C. This is for you now. Ermagwantum Shirkan Drodivora, Pekin Goys, Medalin Hill, Kate Hospital, Megamarkoy, Uppogon Cronus, Sayer, Bella, Alleluia, Bella, Hallelujah, and Poker, Bella, Alleluia, Bella, to Cappamore we came by road, and we passed the forts and 5-ton lorry, a tractor and a baby Ford, and Brian's bulldozer from East Kerry. Alleluia, 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 on Popper Willow. In Dingle-Dangany Hush, Le Hayan Tranona, Vien Sanger Cross, De Montnar Gwynedd, Shed the Worker Bay, on Dial Bogoidish, a Gavan Thrower Fokon, Willa, Alleluia, Quilliloo, Alleluia, and Poker, Willa, Alleluia, Quilliloo, Alleluia, on Poker. Thank you very much, Maureen Connery, ladies and gentlemen.
Fair play to sport, boy. Fair play to you. This time it's a song that was written a couple of years back by a couple of men from my own country, Ruski, and it's lovely Glenagone. It's a number I recorded back about 5 years ago. In the boozer's yard, in the summer's eve, as the birds did sweetly sing, George Walker played some violent notes that made the valleys ring. 'Twas there we have an old that stage, but in years it has got down. Brings back the scenes of bygone days to lovely Glenagone. From the Doolite Cross you can stand and see the golden veil below. You can see a dale at Patrick's Well, where the winding might do flow. You can see the fitness, fairy hill, the grand keel of high renown. You can view them all from the boozer's yard at the top of Glenagone. From Ashgrove Road and sweet old Mill, steep valleys can be seen. You have Roska East and Roska West and Corkscrew Hill between. From the boozer's yard you can start to hear the music trailing down. Brings back the scenes of bygone days to lovely Glenagone. So now, my friends, if you ever chance to cross the Atlantic foam, just leave your heart and Ruskin Cross, where oft times you did wrong. And if ever you return again to where the sun shines down, they will greet you there with warm heart at the top of Glenagone. They will greet you there with a warm heart at lovely Glenagone. Thank you.
Lovely song, lovely music. And of course, what I just want to say about this gentleman here, Sport Murphy, the legendary Bones player. Ireland's Bones player. The world's best. As a matter of fact, you might as well go all the way the universe's best. Great man. And it's lovely to see him. My dear, you have a fine pair of bones, I tell you.
I was the best.
Can I have a look at him? How long have you then?
They're 60 years old.
I was going to say they're nearly as old as mine.
Holly cow.
I hope the cow...
Tommy the dada.
A thoroughbred.
I want to tell you who gave it to me.
Do.
A school teacher, Jim. He did it Friday candies with me.
You like myself. Like myself.
He's teaching in school back in Knoxville.
That's the man who gave him the bones. Yeah. Of course they will. He's a great man, isn't he? Still, you're very welcome. And it's great.
this time we'll try a couple of jigs we used to play some years ago. We'll go with them anyway. And this time we'll finish off with a couple of reels. Tom Wall's Downfall, I think. Is it Tom Wall's Downfall?
From Wall's Downfall.
And Bells of Tipperary. We'll give it a shot.
Mar dúirt Sean tanis móna legan bháin den árán seo ann agus tá sé sin fear fina árán go léir. Agus mar dúirt Sean níbalúthe húsar scoil go dtí bearnátha an áicin agus a dreistal Tomás ó Chuisín agus bhí fadaile ar an stáit an seánach pádraig ó Fennegáin. Agus tá anna bhuichar fada dus na múntóirí bhí gan is na chréigeí agus is na seascadaí. De spregadar agus a bhóscail siad sim onin sa ceol agus is na árán. So seo má legan den árán seo nína lá. Meistach é deachar istír me cátar fan a lena séú tilam ní huiú deor ó bú a bar is cáin na bhile ní na lá ní lerá ó ní na lá na bhfuil ar maidin Níl na lás ní bheith go fóil ó salasár atá sa ghealaí. Chur me hen má láh má fóch, is tír me bris a chorón rí. Séidir tíram ó ból a bód, is bí a gáil an seo go maidin. Níl na lá ní lerá ó níl na lá na bhfuil ar maidin ó níl na lás ní bheith go fóil ó salasár atá sa ghealaí. Éirí a hí a iarratí chur do bhríste is de hata Coghaidí tú ceol leis an duine cór a bhís a gáil an seo go maidin. Níl na lá ní lerá ó níl na lá na bhfuil ar maidin ó níl na lás ní bheith go fóil ó salasár atá sa ghealaí. Na mis hin an fargan céil an dám cís im a scónaí. Dám hin ar am hain is dám sin ar ghaoine eile. Níl na lá ní lerá, níl na lá na bhfuil ar maidin. Níl na lás ní bheith go fóil ó salasár atá sa ghealaí. Sinné.
Family of cases who lived in a house at the cross. They're all gone out of it now. They went away and got married for themselves. The only one that was left was Hannah May. And she'd have got married too, I suppose, only she must have been behind the door when good looks were being given out. James, he was passing up this evening anyhow. He was full up to the neck with drink. Oh, he was so full now that if he bent over, he'd spill. And Hannah May was standing with her back to the half door and her hands under her apron, and she twiddling away her thumbs. And she said, Jamesy, you're drunk again tonight. I am, says Jamesy, but I'll be sober in the morning and you'll still be ugly. The following week it was the same carry on. Jamesy arrived home to the wife, and oh, that wife, she was a monument to patience. He was sophisticated, paralytic. He'd hold on to the back of a chair in an effort to maintain his relationship with the perpendicular. And to make things worse, his wife's aunt was there. Oh, did she reach him a lesson. Have you any thought, she said, for the welfare of your wife and family? Have you no fear of the hereafter? You'll never see the light of heaven. Nice husband you are. And what would you do if the Lord called on you this minute? To tell you the truth, Auntie, says Jamesy, I couldn't stir a leg. Well, someone told the wife anyhow, if Jamesy got a shock or a fright, it might cure him. So she thought of a plan. You see, in Jamesy's way home every night he'd have to pass by the graveyard. So this night she went down to the inn to the graveyard wall, and put a big black shawl over her head and waited. On came Jamesy, drunk of course as usual, and he said, "Oh, what's that?" "I am the devil," she said. "Wish it pleased to meet you," he said. "Should I marry to your sister?" James used to go to town every day for the drink. And while he'd be waiting for the pub to open, he'd go across the road to the barber shop, he'd go in and sit down and be talking to the lads, or maybe reading the newspaper. This day he was inside anyhow, and who arrived in for a haircut but the parish priest? And all of a sudden James, he put down the paper and he said, "Father," he said, "could you tell me what causes lumbago?" Of course the parish priest seized in the opportunity. "I'll tell you what causes lumbago, Jamesy," he said. "Out carousing all hours of the night, immoral living, committing the sin of gluttony by drinking too much." "By gosh," says Jamesy, "I see here in the paper where the bishop is suffering from it." Well, Jamesy Hatnett gave up the drink eventually. And I'll tell you now the comical way it happened. He was going home this night from the pub, and it so happened the same night there were two boys from the town that were after stealing a big bag of spuds from a farmer nearby, and they were bringing them home. When who came around the corner on a bicycle? Only a policeman. Well, they had nothing to do, only hoist the bag of spuds up on the graveyard wall and in over it. But as they did, didn't their two spuds roll out of the bag and down the road? But with a dint of fright, they couldn't wait to pick him up or he'd be onto them. They hopped in over the wall anyway and they let him pass. And while they were inside, they decided to divide up the bag of spuds between them. The graveyard was quite a place that they could find to do it. So they started off counting, but they had a bit of a problem because one of them could only count to 6 and the other one could only count to 9, and it was a kind of 6 and 6 and 9 and 9, so they got all mixed up. They had to spill the spuds out on the ground again. And they said the best way to do it was to put every second one into each bag. So they started off again. One for me, one for you, one for me, one for you. With that, Jamesy came on outside the wall, and he could hear the talk above at the top of the graveyard. One for me, one for you, one for me, one for you. Well, he took off up to the priest's house as quick as his legs could carry him and hit the door above. So the parish priest was going to bed. He put his head out the window. He thought it was a sick call, and he said, "What's wrong?" "Oh, Father," he said, "come down quick, come down quick. God and the devil are below in the graveyard and they're dividing the souls." "Oh, Jamesy," he said, "you're drunk again tonight. Will you go away home for yourself and come back to me tomorrow when you're sober? You'll have to take the pledge besides waking me up at this hour of the night." "Oh, Father," he said, "I'll never again touch a drop of drink if you'll come down with me now." Well, the parish priest had too good a chance to miss, so he put on the overcoat, over the pyjamas, and down he went the road. And they listened in over the wall, and sure enough they could hear the talk inside. One for me, one for you, one for me, one for you. With that, it finished. The two boys had all the spuds divided. But all of a sudden, one of them thought about the two spuds that fell out of the bag early on, and he said, "What about the two outside in the road?" Well, from that day to this, Jamesy never touched a drop of drink, and the parish priest was a better man after it too.
This is a song which I composed back in the 80s when the turf machines started to come to our bogs, and being from there, Crumpon, of course, grew up with a set of turf in my hand. And I composed this ballad, and it is called The Turf Machine. It is about the time when the machines came and the strands became redundant. Some inventions are great that we heard about late all over the world wide. There are tires that can grip and no longer will slip as they climb up the mountainside. But the best thing of all, now at our beck and call, has arrived here upon the scene, for to cut out our peat without hardship or heat, with the handsome new turf machine. Coming out from a tay at the dawn of the day, a big tractor it rolls along. With his turf-cutting knife, 'tis the sight of your life as the driver he sings a song. 'Tis a new life indeed, from all hardship we're freed, compared to the times that have been. Sure we find sausage rolls, no more swampy back holes, since they brought in the turf machine. Up in Knockadalon and away in Glenbawn, the turf comes out thick and fast. While an old farmer there says the world has gone queer, I'm afraid the good times won't last. But we're all overjoyed, sure the bogmen have pride and don't care about England's queen. Let the Brits keep their coal and I'll go on the dole, for we now have our turf machine. We will soon have great heat from our new compressed peat, for to keep out the wind and cold. And many young men will go courting again before they will get too old. The times will be great in this part of the state, from Roscommon to Direen, with our big warm stoves and fine collins in droves, all due to the turf machine. From the sheiks with their oil we'll relax for a while, 'tis on them we do not depend. For with gas from Kinsale and black turf by the rail, sure old Ireland is on the mend. Our slongsmen were tough, but the work it was rough, and our pikemen a gallant team. They can now take a rest, they gave of their best, and can now take a rest with the help of the turf machine. How grand 'tis to stray on a fine summer's day all over the bogland round, to see tractors creep and a mighty big sweep as the blade it swings up and down. Then one day may we see our dear country all free, with the orange and white and green, and to hoist up the flag over each Irish bog, and thank God for the turf machine.
am a young fella that's airy and bold. In Castletown Connors I'm very well known. In Newcastle West I spent many a note with Kitty and Judy and Mary. My father rebuked me for being such a rake and spending my time in such frolicsome ways. But I ne'er could forget the good nature of Jane, agus fágan míid siúd mar atá sé. My parents, they reared me to shake and to mow, to plough and to harrow, to reap and to sow. But my heart being too airy to drop it so low, I set out on a wild speculation. On paper and parchment they taught me to write, in Euclid and grammar they opened my eyes. But in multiplication, in truth I was bright, agus fágan míid siúd mar atá sé. John Damer of Shronell had plenty of gold, and Devonshire's treasure was 20 times more. But he's lying on his back amongst nettles and stones, agus fágan míid siúd mar atá sé. This cow can be milked without clover or grass, for she's pampered with corn, good barley and hops. She's warm and stout, and she's free in her paps, and she'll milk without spancel or halter. The man that will drink it will cock his cobbeen, and if anyone laugh, there'll be wigs on the green. And the feeble old hag will get supple and free, agus fágan míid siúd mar atá sé. If I chance for to go to the market in Croom, with a cock in my hat and my pipes in full tune, I'm made welcome at once and brought up in the room, where Bacchus is sporting with Venus. There's Peggy and Jane from the town of Brewery, and Biddy from Bruff, and we all on the spree. Such a combing of locks as there is about me, agus fágan míid siúd mar atá sé. There's some says I'm foolish, and more says I'm wise, but being fond of the women, I'm sure is no crime. For the son of King David had 1,000 wives, and his wisdom was highly recorded. I'll till a good garden and live at my ease, and each woman and child can partake of the same. If there's war in the cabin, theirselves they may blame, agus fágan míid siúd mar atá sé. And now for the future I mean to be wise. I'll send for those women that acted so kind, and I'll marry them all on the morrow by and by, if the clergy agree to the bargain. And when I'm on my back and my soul is at peace, these women will crowd for to cry at my wake, and their sons and their daughters will offer their prayers to the Lord for the soul of their father.
We're coming to the end of the night, and there's even greater things in store. We're going to play a couple of fights first, I'd say. Is that right, Con? Yeah. And then a couple of reels, and it wouldn't be West Limerick, I suppose, if there wasn't a bones and a bar on somewhere to be heard. So we're very lucky to have these two men alongside us. I know the man's just going to join us for a few reels. She's up. I didn't know it's like we were playing. Patsy was lucky. He said he'd hold off for the reels. From the time that this concert was thought of, one man that I know gave Con an awful lot of support. He was on the phone to him from England, and from way, way back, he gave a huge obligation to be here. It just meant an awful lot to him. He's been a Houston All-Ireland champion, but he's one of the hearts and souls of the Listowel Flags, and we all remember a great musician, Patsy Maloney. So, back for the last round.
There was a man there that night, and he gave me tremendous help. And we sang a song in the pub afterwards, and he was a man who was in my own profession for years. He's down there in the second row, Jerry Ford. You sang a song that night. Is there any chance you give us a verse? Or two or three would be better. Because this man was my chief engineer, my... Jerry. I know he's a quite shy man, but took a share hui. Múntóir scoile agus fear uasal agus fear a há lán de léon agus de... whatever it is he's lán of it. Jerry Ford. Now, I know I came in here at Duig in which they said would give us one couple of verses of some song or other.
Right, you'll let me out.
What song is it?
One morning in June, Slán agus bannacht.
Well, I'll give him one.
Slán. There's a frog in my throat too. If the bugger, he'd make a better job of singing than I would anyway. One morning in June, agus made all exposed around, Cossackam Colleen Burroyas me. She was so beautiful, they hit me in Raleigh. Stog she unaring Gartlar McCree. I asked her name, no good day on Rod Banner. A cousin and Archer, a Grodal McFree. My heart it will break if you don't come along with me. Slán agus bannacht le búrthaimh until. Misha Colleen des óg, ó counter na farige. A hóga go chnasta I dosach mohil. But I've been so airy a shoot but clocked alum. which made my own parents and me disagree. Wish a Colleen das og akon age fall Tamerlane. I'll tell you a story about Little Cree. That I'm a young man who is deeply in love with you. Surely my heart is from roguery free. There's an alehouse nearby, agus be me go mud on. Then if you're satisfied, grog al free. Early next morning we'll send for the clergyman, be nor gangled in honest until. Be the goal for the forest and Tarragand. Then we will take the road home with all speed. When the reckoning is due, should who cares for the landlady? Slán agus bannacht le búrthaibh until.
Gormagod Sean agus is privileged dá riara cúpla focail rá agus tréslú an seo le gach aine a chur seo có bra sin an ardán. Bhí sé stiléir ón bólabás agus an sim a chuirsibh se insar a chuirim ceol go bhfuil sibh tanabás an ihe. It's an absolute privilege, I have to say, to come on the stage tonight after what I consider one of the best concerts I've attended since I linked up with Comhaltas Ceoldraí Éireann over 40 years ago. I must say that Michael Collins and Con Herbert have a lot to answer for, because they're after raising the bar so high tonight that wherever Feachaint na Moon is next year, they're certainly going to have a hard act to follow. It was a night, a special night in so many ways. One of the great motivational influences in life has to be pride of place. Poets write about it, singers compose songs about it, we have fireside stories of the great hurlers of an area and so on. But tonight what we've had here is one of the greatest displays of pride of place for West Limerick that anybody could hope or expect to see. I don't know if we fully appreciate how lucky and how privileged we are to be in the company of such talented artists, all of whom obviously entered into the spirit tonight of reminiscence and nostalgia as well. And we've even had our good friends, the Maloney brothers, returning from across the water to be part of this celebration also. I would just like to take the opportunity, therefore, of saying to each and every artist who came on stage here tonight, we have been honoured, we have been entertained, we have been electrified, I have to say. If you have any hair on the back of your neck, I say it has risen many times here tonight. In fact, there should have been a health warning before we came in here that if you had a weak heart, stay outside, because that was the whole spirit of what we've had here on the stage tonight. So again, I compliment Michael Collins, the chairman, the committee, and all who helped in any way to give us this great curtain raiser for Fleadh na Moon 2007, and I'm sure Tai Gomwell Caha, the Cahiрлach and the Santa, and all Comhairle na Moon must feel very, very comfortable when they're working with a committee like the committee we've had here in Newcastle West. And finally, I have to say to one of the great supremos of Irish entertainment, there will never, ever be anyone like Sean O'Shea again to represent us. I can think back many, many years ago in my days when I used to teach Cayley dancing all over Tipperary, and we ran regular Cayleys in Cashel, and Sean used to come to us with the Blarney Cayley band. Now they said at that time that we looked like twins. I don't know how it looks tonight after all the years, and I don't mean to insult you, Sean, either, I have to say, but I think you will agree with me. Not only has he been the icing on the cake, he has been the yeast that made it rise here tonight. Long may Sean O'Shea live, God of Mila Margaret Galair, Caramaga.
If anything needs to be filled in, I know you'll fill it in. So, Chundera a Chulisham Ihe Umtak Shaw. Oh, by the way, not quite. All the musicians who took part tonight are invited up there at the stage door to come in, and I suppose the Carrick people will stay on the stage for one final, massive, electrifying was the word Lauros used. I used nuclear finale. Sorry, right with the one.
Thank you very much. We're going to have a step of a hornpipe now from the one and only Johnny Kennedy from Feachaint. We'll try a few bars of a song, so I'm sure he might join in with us, hopefully we'll not. The town it climbs the mountain and looks out on the sea. At sleeping time or waking sure 'tis there I long to be, to walk again those kindly streets, the place my life began, with the boys of Barnasride, who hunted farther on. With cudgels stout we roamed about to hunt for the droline. We searched for birds in every forest, from Litter to Duneen. We jumped for joy beneath the sky. Life had no print or plan, for we boys of Barnasride, who hunted farther on. And when the hills were bleeding and the rifles were aflame, to the rebel homes of Kerry the Saxon stranger came. But the boys who dared the Oxys and fought the black and tans were the boys of Barnasride, who hunted farther on. But now the toil on foreign soil, where they have gone their way, deep in the heart of London town, or over in Broadway, and I am left to sing their deeds and to praise them while I can. Those boys of Barnasride, who hunted farther on. So here's a hell to them tonight, those lads who laughed with me by the groves round Carn River, or the slopes of Benetee. John Dolly and Barandy, the Sheehan's, Con and Dan, and the boys of Barnasride, who hunted farther on. Now when the wheel of life comes round and peace comes over me, just lay me down near that old town, between the hills and sea. I'll take my sleep amongst those green fields, where I grew from boy to man, with the boys of Barnasride, who hunted farther on. We're going to have a set now. We're just thinking of another man who I suppose would be here tonight, only has departed the scene some years ago, was the great Con Graney. We were just thinking him there as we were singing the song. Harry Kerry and more from Glanton. We have two famous people for dancing sets around Carrick for years, Liz King and Nora Barrett. They make up about 150 years between the two of them. Nora Barrett has gone 83 anyway, I know that. So it was great to see him here tonight.
finish up now. We're going to play a couple of marches for the Bowlans if they'll stay with us for a minute. Good man.